Now, if you told me you owned all of the Bitcoin in the world and you offered it to me for $25, I wouldn't take it, because what would I do with it? In my life, I try and avoid things that are stupid and evil and make me look bad in comparison with somebody else. And Bitcoin does all three. and the first place, it's stupid because it's very likely to go to zero. The second place is evil because it undermines the Federal Reserve System and the national currency system, which we desperately need to maintain its integrity and government control and so on. And third, it makes us look foolish compared to the communist leader in China. He was smart enough to ban Bitcoin in China. With all of our presumed advantages of civilization, we are a lot dumber than the communist leader in China.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was Warren Buffett followed by his longtime business partner and friend Charlie Munger. They're both well over 90, and you can see that they are just never going to change their mind about Bitcoin. But I do want to point out that they have a war chest and they started buying again. You know, for the past 2 years, they have been selling into the market. And they started the beginning of 2022 with 147 billion in cash. And by the end of March, that pile was down to 106 billion. So they did sell just a little bit, about 9.7 billion, but they bought 41 billion. It's one of the most active quarters they've had in a very long time. And no, none of it was Bitcoin, but they did buy Chevron. They also bought the gaming company Activision, and they also bought a toy manufacturer, Allegheny. And you do need to give credit where credit is due, because the Berkshire Hathaway stock share per share is at just under $500 million. We're probably going to see that share price go up to $1 billion in the near future, because they have been growing consistently 10% every year. So they have their recipe of success, and that is probably one of the reasons why you're never going to see them change. All right, I've got a really great video for you, so let's get to it. When the company Ripple hires, boy, they can attract a lot of talent. Here we have Greg Tobzik. He just started in March and he snagged a VP position with Ripple. And you can see that he came from BNY Mellon in New York. He was there for, how long was he there? Almost 6 years. And then prior to that, he was a senior VP of operations for HSBC, spending 13 years there. And then he also was at Ameritrade, where he had another VP role back in 2000 to 2003. Yeah, so I want to tell you though, if you ever really want to know what's going on at Ripple, if you want to kind of predict the future, just take a look at their job postings and let me show you what I found. The listings are public for everyone to see, and there's a lot of them, a lot of open positions. But there was something that caught my eye, and that was the word Toronto. Toronto has 13 different positions, and I was like, Toronto? Do they have an office in Toronto? I don't think so. Well, then when you start to look at who they're hiring and the description as to what they are wanting the new hires to do, it gets very interesting. 4 of these jobs are just dripping in liquidity. A principal applied scientist, a product manager, a senior software engineer, and a quantitative developer. All liquidity, 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 liquidity. And they also give the description that it's a vision of massive scale with world-class machine learning liquidity engine, delivering optimal liquidity for every customer in the world in a cost-effective, robust, and scalable manner. We're not talking about anything small here, guys. This is big, and it's going down in Toronto. The logical step then for me was to go to the Toronto-based listings, and you can see that I found this senior tech recruiter, that they're looking for a full cycle senior technical recruiter to help take Ripple to the next level by bringing in top talent, because they're going to be opening a brand new Toronto office and engineering hub. This is a big deal. This is not just a small office. This is actually taking your flag and posting it in the ground that we are building out the engineering hub in Canada, not the United States. This is an example of what the SEC is doing in regards to taking jobs away from the United States. And you can see that the person who's going to be hired will own the recruiting process from screening through the offer stage while working closely with the talent acquisitions, operations, HR, basically, and their leadership team, reporting to their senior manager of talent out of New York City. So you're looking at a lot of people that are going to be working here, and this is definitely the home base for the liquidity hub and this massive new build out. The company Ripple is not going to allow the SEC to slow them down. Here is an article that was published in South Korea just 2 days ago. A lawsuit with the US SEC will not affect global Ripple adoption. This is coming as a quote from Ripple's APAC head, Rahul Advani. This is a conference that was co-sponsored by Ripple. They also co-authored a white paper intended to help the government of South Korea shape regulations in the cryptocurrency space. So they're very, very active and working earnestly to get the laws changed so that ODL, on-demand liquidity that uses the digital asset XRP, can be then put in to the rails that do exist in South Korea. I'm going to save the details of a lot of these stories that are circulating right now for the video to follow this, because it deserves its own separate video. Right now, let's jump to the fluff. This weekend was a holiday weekend in Japan, and up north in Akita, they had their Spring Festa celebration, which is an annual event that takes place with fireworks. And their fireworks are just spectacular. And today I had so much fun looking through the photographs and the video that was posted on Twitter. I'm going to let some of that video take you out so you have a chance to see how beautiful this artistry is. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.